Coming up on stage next, he was a grand finalist last year at Last Comic Standing. He's a very strong performer. Give it up for Sean!
Hey guys, how you doing this evening? Don't answer that. So, welcome to Anime Expo 2013 on 4th of July weekend, because what better a way to celebrate a traditional American pastime by stuffing our faces with Pocky and Japanese animation. It's kind of like celebrating Cinco de Mayo by placing a reservation with Olive Garden, or helping your girlfriend who's Jewish celebrate Hanukkah by ordering her the Bacon Lovers Pizza. Now, I've been here 5 years. How many people are returning this year to Anime Expo? Now, would you agree with me when I say it's better labeled as LineCon? Yes. Now, see, what the newcomers don't understand is that LineCon is LineCon because being in a line is half of the fun. Because when I get bored and I'm in a line, I become that guy. You know, I'm that guy who people come up to and ask for directions, and I start explaining them in a language that they can't understand while flashing translations on cards way too fast for them to read. And then when they get mad and ask me why I can't just say it as a normal person, I say, I thought subs were better than dubs. My other favorite thing to do is I will just start a line, like I'll get really excited and just be waiting somewhere and wait for an entire crowd of people to line up behind me, and then just leave. But my favorite has to be when I get a couple of friends to line up with me in front of the bathroom, and then people get curious as to what's going on. I say, oh, it's the performance and autograph panel for Vic Mignogna. Except I don't think AX would allow that because it goes against their rules about tormenting or harassing other users, which makes me wonder why they still invite Japanese bands that make it really awkward for me to explain to my friends what I'm doing this evening. I mean, have you ever tried to justify spending a ticket and telling them that you're going to be spending 2.5 hours in a dark room with a bunch of grinding teenagers watching porno graffiti? Which isn't much better than last year when it was Hatsune Miku and I had to validate spending $100 to watch a singing idol that doesn't exist and manages somehow to be more auto-tuned than a robotic Kesha. But of course, the other fun part of LineCon 2013 is that you can, when you've been here as long as I've been, you can start to figure out what panel it's leading to based on the people that are in it. For example, if there's a lot of fresh faces, happy eyes, lots of smiles, you figure, okay, it's a guest of honor panel. If it's a lot of people cussing and swearing each other out and saying very, very rude names, you're probably in line for the console gaming room. If those same people are grossly overweight, well, clearly you're at the Inuyasha panel. But here's what I figure everyone will clue in on. What if you get in the room and there's a bunch of people squirming uncomfortably, some of them are straight up, have their hands down their pants and are diddling themselves? You got it, you're at a Steve Bloom panel. See, he's famous, but like, he's not really a celebrity. Maybe he's more of an example of celebrity, but over in Japan, some of you people know this, over in Japan, Japanese voice actors are freaking celebrities. Like, they're following around, they have their own entourage, they are celebrities. Which makes me wonder, what would happen if we took a bunch of American celebrities and had them voice for anime characters? Like, example, let's have William Shatner for Attack on Titan. And on that day, we learned a very grim reminder. And we forever live in fear of the Titans. Or Christopher Walken as Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star. Da 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 da. You, my friend, are already dead. You have Randy Savage as Mickey Mouse from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, Sora! I need you to take this keyblade and slash away the darkness. Remember, the true power comes not from a Slim Jim, but from your heart.
Gilbert Godfried as your little sister.
My hips are moving on their own. Senpai notices me today because I happen to be wearing my special Hello Kitty panties.
And of course, my personal favorite, Justin Bieber as the Persona 4 protagonist. Because he never talks. So, someone said it earlier, but obviously we got a lot of Pokemon fans in here, right? Okay, well here's the sad fact you have to realize. You're about to feel real old. Anime Expo is almost 22, 23 years old. Pokemon is almost 20 years old. That's like since the start of Red and Blue, which means this month at the World Championships, there's going to be one thing that's more terrifying than a bunch of underage kids getting really mad at each other over a Pokemon game. And that's their parents pep-talking them before the competition. I actually think we're going to be the ones doing more crying and yelling at other people than the little kids. In fact, that's probably why Nintendo moved to doing wireless communication. It wasn't so that we could connect with people around the world, it's to prevent us from pulling the link cable when we're about to lose. But see, so you think, okay, so I just won't do the competition. I'll just have my kids play the games and they'll enjoy themselves. No, they can't, because now there's fairy type. That's right, X and Y has fairy type coming out. And there was a lot of fan speculation, maybe there'll be a light type or a dark type, very common tropes in Japanese culture. No, instead they're going to take every slightly feminine Pokemon and just make it a twink. Which, to be honest, is very representative of Otaku culture. So, not only does any trainer with a male Gardevoir have a really hard time explaining things to his friends, but now you have to explain to your kids who are so used to all the later and bigger and badder gym leaders being terrifying and horrifying, that now Lance the Dragon Trainer and Dragonite and Salamet's always really powerful Pokemon are to be terrified of any trainer who decides to call himself Timmy Turner. Can you imagine what the fairy-type gym leader would be? Just imagine you've just beaten Lance and he's like at the Elite Four and he's like, I'm proud of how far you've come. But unfortunately, there was one person greater than even I. You must now face Tyler. Hello! Is this a trainer? Oh, I'm gonna be sweating by the end of this one. And like he comes out and he's got like nipple ribbons and assless chaps. And you can tell he's only got 2 Pokemon because the balls are hanging like right down here. And the first one is a male Clefable named Bruno. And the second one is a Machamp with extended eyelashes and a string thong. Actually, you know what? That does sound more terrifying than... I think that might actually work. So, anyway, going back to the Steve Bloom thing, I need to apologize. You guys have been real good about not booing, but those of you who were here last year, I give you permission to boo me, because I'm about to explain. Last year I said 3 words that would make any person in this room hate me and want to track me down for the rest of my life. No, it was not I love Homestuck. It was fuck Steve Bloom. What I should have said was, I want to be fucked by Steve Bloom. And it makes sense, because the guy has such a wide range of characters that you can choose to lust over. There's the space bounty hunter who shoots a gun and has classy one-liners. There's the muscled bounty hunter from Bulletstorm who shoots a gun and has vulgar one-liners. There's the mutant bounty hunter who claws apart guns and has badass one-liners. And then there's Guillemot, which doesn't really work as well unless you're that kind of person who likes him going, but the cat here, that doesn't look like a USB stick, that looks like a... But you have to admit that Steve Bloom automatically has the best foreplay dirty talk in the world. Imagine this. He's got a cute girl in his bed, and he pushes her back onto the mattress, and as she falls, you hear her go, "What are we going to do on the bed? And he leans over her in his Spike Spiegel cosplay, leans in real close to her ear, and says, bang.